All right, take one. I think I can talk over all the noise. It's a pretty, I guess, busy, sunny Saturday afternoon over here, so you'll probably hear some young children screaming like that. That was on cue. Over the playground across the street. And so I don't know. I don't think that I'm any more boisterous or noisy than anyone else that's around here in this neighborhood. So shouldn't be too much of a problem. But it's been a little while again since I last did a video, and I thought I would do an update. I just got back from traveling around the country. Went to the West Coast for about a week or several days with my better half, and so got back yesterday. And finished up, and actually that's where I'll start. So I finished the regular season earlier today, actually. I had about six games left to play for it, and so the regular season is finished for the Redemption League Season 2, Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey. The playoff brackets, I'm going first versus fourth and second versus third for the opening round. The opening round is a semifinal. So 51 Detroit Red Wings and 57 Boston Bruins up against the 51 Red Wings up against the 57 Bruins, and then the 61 Maple Leafs and the 67 Blackhawks. That's going to be the other semifinal. I would assume actually that the two teams that will meet in the final, I'm predicting that it will be the 51 Red Wings and the 61 Maple Leafs. They finished first and second overall in the standings. And really, save for a late run by the Blackhawks, it wasn't really all that close. Of course, the Blackhawks, the offensive juggernaut that they are, they could surprise. I'm still going to do a best-of-7 series. I will be reducing one project. I'll talk about that shortly, but I will do a best-of-7 series here for each of these, and then a best-of-7 final. That's what I had worked out in my head before doing this, because each of these teams played one another 6 times, and so it was a 30-game regular season. Stan Mikita scored 20 goals over that time and won the scoring title with 37 points. Gordie Howe was second with 35. It's on Delphi, some other stuff about that. And the Consolation Cup is what I call the Stanley Cup equivalent that they play for, because these are teams that had really good regular seasons in the respective seasons, but fizzled out in the playoffs, kind of underperformed or disappointed. At least that's the case for the 51 Red Wings, who were on their way to a dynasty of sorts, and ditto the 61 Maple Leafs, who ended up winning it, the Cup 62 through 64, and again in 67. So on to the 70s. With the 78 World Hockey Association, they've reduced or condensed regular season, a replay for the 78 year that I was doing. I've decided to reduce that one from 42 to 28 games. I'm terrible at task switching, multitasking. I checked, it's been 2.5 weeks since August 15th, so actually really about 2.5 weeks since I last touched this one. So I just plowed forward and finished the regular season for the Redemption League. I was doing those ones concurrently, and so I'm going to reduce this one to 28 games. There are 8 teams in the league, and so each of them will play the other 7 twice home and twice away. So I've got some of those games for the schedule already done. Each team has actually played 8 games so far. And the main reason why I'm reducing it is actually not because I'm not enjoying it or anything like that, but I also want to the letter, I want to play the 1948-49 NHL full regular season and playoffs. I want to do a full complete season replay of that. Starting in October. I think it's about the 13th or the 15th of October when the regular season actually got underway for the National Hockey League in the fall of 48. So there is that. So I'm going to just to make sure that I have enough time, because again, I've still got 20 more regular season games plus playoffs to play here for these World Hockey Association teams. So I'm just going to condense it again. Not that I'm not enjoying it or anything like that, but I just really want to make sure that, again, I want to be blitzing these games out joylessly either. So I want to leave myself just enough time to get this one done and tucked away nice and neat. And I realize, I don't know if it's criticism or not. I've heard from PJEP before, well, Hockey Unreal only plays 20 or 30 game seasons. Well, again, there's no right or wrong way to do something like this, and I guess at the end of the day, although, again, I do complete regular season replays as well, albeit with faster games, generally faster playing games. At the end of the day, if offered a choice between, one season project where you play 70 or 80 games and another project where you can get 2 or 3 seasons done over the exact same amount of time, playing 20 or 30 game seasons, it just feels a little bit more like, for certain, legacy type things. Legacy is kind of a weird word to use, but sure, why not, for this, that's what I end up opting with or going with. So anyways, you see there, and so 48-49, in the 2020 I did the 46-47 regular season with Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey, full, again, playoffs and everything, full regular season. The Montreal Canadiens actually surprised and won the Stanley Cup for that one. That was before the channel. 47 and 48 shootout hockey. I did put some of those games on the channel. That was the one where I was kind of talking a little differently, and I had some crowd, noise in the background. Anyway, for the playoffs part of it anyway. So 47-48 shootout hockey. That was completed. And I did that one like T-Liz in the Shootout Hockey Forum. That's not his full ID username. Of course, T-Liz does have some numerals after that, but I got the idea from T-Liz to do the schedule, actually, to play the games in the day in which they were played. Save for surgery that sidelined me for a few days, I was able to adhere to that. So 48-49, same thing. I guess I already mentioned this one, but I'm going to play it with Doc Hockey. I got the Doc set like last year, some point a while ago, actually. I think early last year. So I'm going to finally use them for a full project, those Doc cards, and just, I guess, continue with the habit of 73 or 74 seasons after the fact, playing out a full regular season. So there's a couple more things that I want to talk about, though I only remember to write one of them down. Stone Cold Hockey. I understand completely when Dave Gardner says, until you actually play the game, you don't really know how good it is. But if I enjoy it even half as much as like it looks and sounds, just watching Dave play it, then I really anticipate liking this game a whole heck of a lot. So certainly, I'm still actually basically right now the big decision for me in Stone Cold Hockey is because I have so many tabletop desktop hockey games. I'm thinking about getting Stone Cold and maybe using it for PC hockey playing, even though I've not done that really and with any kind of regularity in a very long time. I've played around, not on camera, off camera, recently with Zen Hockey, another game that Dave showed. It was a little while ago now, but anyway, here nor there. But Stone Cold Hockey, PDF versus ordering some components to Canada if I ever get the heck back for a visit, and or getting the PC version. I'm still debating, but it's Stone Cold Hockey. That's a yes. I will buy it. It's just how. It's right now. The question is how. And also, too, I think that Stone Cold Hockey has conveniently given me an excuse to continue to delay. These are just 4 games that I have kind of on the go that I'm sort of infrequently working on. Impact Play, Binder Hockey, Join the Rush, and Clash Hockey, which I've not done a name reveal before, I don't think, but basically Clash Hockey is, I'm going to announce that from everything that I've seen from Stone Cold Hockey, I know the game Grid Zone well enough, though I don't have Grid Zone. I know it well enough from having played in one of Jason Graham's fantasy fictional football leagues for Grid Zone, played a few seasons of that. My team was the Jersey Jolts, and so I got an idea of the mechanisms, the workings of that game, and I started designing a hockey game that was actually kind of a hybrid of Grid Zone and then also Jason Graham's Flash Hockey, hence Clash. Clash rhymes with Flash, and I just like the word Clash. So Clash Hockey is another one that I also kind of have underway. Join the Rush, I haven't worked on it much, but I did make a change to the mechanics that would, I'd be using one fewer die for that game and just kind of changing the defense up a little bit so they're a little more static and not quite as fluid, but still not quite as static either, if that makes any sense at all. Probably only sometimes does to me. But one thing that I didn't note here, actually, I knew I'd forget something. So there's also the matter of the 69, I guess I would call it, what would I call it? What do I call it? Oh yes, wow, brain fart there. So the Eternal 6, whoops, Eterna 6, Eternal 6, I'll just sneak the L in there in between. So for the Eternal 6, with, I guess I can also put here with Hockey Bones. Again, I don't want to do too many projects all at once because, again, I'm not a very good task switcher or multitasker, and I find that I don't enjoy them as much, I guess, when I just kind of spread myself a little too thin. But there's also this matter of Season 3 with the League of Champions and Presidents, which I would like to do, if for no other reason than I would like to do a Jucket Classic, and I have just the teams in the game or games for it. Because I've done, Al Red Sox Fan Classic, Dave Gardner Classic, and so I'd like to do a Jucket Tribute Classic games. I actually did one, what was it? I can't remember now, a month and a half ago, but I didn't like the way that the video turned out. That was at the time, again, I was just going through some stuff, I guess. dare I use the word health, but just wasn't 100%. And so I didn't like the way that those videos turned out. I basically stopped making videos for about a month, and the past, I guess, few weeks that I've not been doing it, it hasn't been for any feeling ill or anything like that, or feeling off in any way. It's just, as I've said this before, as much as I enjoy, tabletop, desktop hockey, simulation hockey, using my imagination with hockey, right? I play unreal hockey that is unreal. I have other hobbies that don't necessarily have anything to do with hockey. And so I think as well, that's also the perk of, I think I have a channel that, while I'm very happy and grateful to have some support for it, I think I'm also just small enough to allow myself sort of the creative freedom to do or not do certain things for a certain period of time. So maybe that's my own weird way of saying keep expectations low. And so I'm not going to, I guess basically I'm not going to commit to any schedule necessarily, but I have tentative stuff. And right now, I guess if you've listened to this point, I have no idea how long I've been talking, just over 10 minutes now. So please leave in comments if you have any I don't know, choice or preference or anything. I mean, usually at the end of the day, as my wife would attest to, I usually just end up kind of doing whatever I want anyway. But right now I'm trying to think, in addition to the 48-49 regular season replay with Doc Hockey that's going to start in the fall, plus I want to finish up the WHA mini season in the meantime. I'm trying to decide whether to go to season 3 for the League of Champions and Presidents, the 69 with Hockey Bones, or I don't know, maybe I will come around and decide that, okay, I need just to have several projects on the go all at once, and maybe just be comfortable with the fact that I'm going to progress through each one of them more slowly. Anyway, as always, anytime, any consideration that you give to anything like this, it's never expected, but it is always appreciated. Sorry if you're the kind of person who, I can't imagine this video would appease any audio snobs among you that might not appreciate background noise, but I don't know, I was just getting kind of shack-wacky, even though I just got back from some travel, just, I don't know, local travel. South Korea's not really that big of a country, but went to the Southwest and back now, and just kind of chilling out this Saturday afternoon. And one final thing, actually, so the Summer Classic, I did a Winter Classic, and I'm going to be in that area because I've got some books in this here Hello Kitty bag that I have to take back to the library, and so after I return those, I might actually go either to the place where I did the Winter Classic game between Toronto and Detroit, or a similar place between Toronto and Detroit, which actually reminds me as well, I was going to do this bit where I was going to talk about how when I did the 63 full regular season replay, like historically Toronto and Detroit played one another in the final. For the 48 NHL regular season replay, like in real life, Toronto and Detroit played one another in the final. And is there one other one that I'm blanking on as well, where Toronto and Detroit met one another in the final, I think? So I'm, once again, to circle back to this regular season replay, or this Redemption League replay, I'm really thinking that the Constellation Cup final will be between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings, because why wouldn't it? All right. Cheers, thanks. Bye for now. This coffee's great.